Alright, one more day of spearfishing in Kaikoura. Let's have a wee look. I've done this one before, right here. I've done this before, but I never got anything last time. Wasn't good enough to shoot the fish. We'll see how we go this time. Sometimes you have to do it twice to see if you can get it right the second time. Now this particular dive location I went earlier and I wasn't very successful. Now last time I went here there were fish everywhere. There was wrasse all over the place. There were lots of butterfish, there was a few blue moki hanging around, so I had very high expectations. But on this particular dive, I think I must have maybe just struck it at the wrong time of day, wrong tide, I'm not really sure. Sort of diving on the mid-tide, and it was, you know, becoming late in the afternoon, so yeah, I wasn't really sure, but yeah, it wasn't quite as fishy as what I expected. Now I'm going to make a critical newbie dive mistake in this video. So if you have just a small or a moderate amount of dive experience yourself, I recommend watching this video because you may be able to learn from my dive mistake, because when you go spearfishing and when you go diving you are going to make mistakes and you do have to learn from them. So maybe you'll learn from this one. So this was filmed right towards the end of the 2023 Paua season in Kaikoura, and this particular Paua season is only 2 months long because the previous year's Paua season, far too many people showed up. I mean, there were just thousands of divers in the water taking, so too many. So this year it appears to have been a wee bit better with just fewer people in the water. It's not right in the middle of summer, so you can go out there and this time you can get 3 paua, not 5. You know, I wonder sometimes whether the paua actually migrate and move around a wee bit on the rocks, just like how crayfish migrate and move around. Because when I was here, the last time I was here, I didn't see very many paua. There just weren't very many. And I was more focused on the fish last time, although this particular occasion I'm going for the paua. So maybe it's a case of, you know, you see what you want to see, you see the thing you're looking for, maybe. I'm looking for paua, and I can find lots of paua here on this occasion. So you'll notice as you're watching this video just how dark the water is. You know, that's because of the time of day. I mean, I'm in the water at 3:30 in the afternoon at the beginning of winter, and I tell you what, it's just spooky. It's like, ugh, it gives you the willies. You go down into the water and you're looking around, and keep in mind I'm solo diving here. I haven't got a dive buddy with me, so I have to be as safe as I possibly can be. And on these particular rocks and these particular pinnacles on the last time around, geez, there was like butterfish all over the place. And you know, you'd swim over one of these pinnacles and rocks, and there'd be butterfish hanging around on the other side, and you'd snoop up on them, take a shot at them. And this time just nothing, not much hanging around. So I'm playing with the old line winder, letting out a wee bit more line, you know, because I have to explore a wee bit further and try to go for the sunny spots to see if I can find something. And there's just not much around, but eventually soon I'm going to find a fish to shoot, but I have to look under a couple of rocks first. So I dive down and I have a wee look, and I can see some fish hanging around. They're just wrasse, but they're hanging around, and they're in this kind of trench in the water here. And I'm sort of thinking, oh, how am I going to get these guys out? And they're sort of hiding away underneath the ledges and in the kelp. So I start scraping the tip of my spear against the rock. Now I do this because I know that the tip of my spear is already a bit blunt and it's due to be sharpened. So I think, okay, well, I'll just give it a wee bit of a scrape and I'll see if I can get one of them to come out. And I'm scanning and looking around, and I see, ooh, they're starting to pop out. I think I'll dive down and have a look and maybe take a shoot at one. So right at this point I reach down to my thigh and I realise, oh no, there's no dive knife. I was in such a rush to get into the water because of the failing sunlight that I didn't bring a knife. Now here's the thing, here's what you need to learn from this. I could have actually ickied this fish because the inside of the float boat has another icky spike that I could have used to kill this fish, but in the heat of the moment I didn't realise, I didn't know, and I ended up just putting the spear back on the gun. So as I said at the start of this video, there are important lessons to learn in diving, and this is just a small little stuff up where I forgot a dive knife, but then in the heat of the moment I could have actually used something else. I could have used the icky spike inside the float, but you know, my brain wasn't quite firing on all the cylinders because, you know, that's what happens when you're in the water. You don't always think of all of the variables and all of the factors involved. So I could have gotten more fish, but ended up with just the one. forgot to take my dive knife.
I'm crawling out of the ocean here and fumbling around with all my gear, and I'm thinking, okay, am I going to try and icky fish here? I don't know, and all the ocean starts crashing in and it keeps moving my gear around. So I decide, okay, I think I'll just pack up the gear and continue getting out of the water before the rising tide starts taking my gear away from me.
Well, bit of a rookie mistake there. Go out there to shoot the fish, and I forgot my dive knife. I reached down, and it's like, oh, I was in such a rush to get into the water, just forgot the dive knife. The poor fish has just got to sit here for the moment until I can icky it. Dumb mistake. Alright. But this was the place that I came last year, and I couldn't hit a single damn fish. And I took my time with this fella, and I got him. I've got you. Sorry, buddy. I forgot to take my dive knife out there with me. Don't want you to suffer. Here we go. That's Tangaroa's penalty for me for not bringing a dive knife. Just get the one.
Being only moderately successful at spearfishing, I've learned to become very appreciative of the fish that I have managed to shoot. So on this particular day, shot one wrasse, just the one, and none of this fish went to waste. We really made the most of it. We cut the head off, we fried up everything, we ate all the fillets, we fried up the head, we got the flesh from the head and the wings. Really nothing went to waste on this fish.
Alright, thanks for watching. Marginal improvement on last time here. Marginal improvement.
Cods and crayfish. Gonna go buy cods and crayfish. Cods and crays. Cods and crayfish. Fish is best. The word for crayfish in Chinese is longsha, so we went and bought a longsha. Longsha the 尾巴